A New Man continues the fourth season's focus on the themes of identity and explores how our place in society, our relationships, and the decisions we make contribute to the formation of our sense of self. Yet it is our willingness to progress and develop in life that gives us direction, motivating our actions and informing our identity. Without direction and purpose, we cease to take ownership of our existence, instead allowing the chaos of life to guide us and losing our identity along the way. According to Jung, the first half of life is spent developing one's identity in relation to the world around them. I hate frogs. I like shoes and shopping. I am a watcher. The second half of life, however, is a return to or rediscovery of the self, individuation. Often referred to as a quarter or midlife crisis, this is often a painful and confusing process, with Jungian philosopher Marie-Louise von Franz referring to it as the wounding of the personality. If all the things that I have defined myself by are taken away, then who am I? Since the beginning of the show, Giles' main identity has been comprised of watcher, librarian, then surrogate father to Buffy. In Never Kill a Boy on the First Date, we learn that Giles initially struggled with the expectations of the watcher role, as it was passed down to him by his family. This is later elaborated on in the Dark Age, when it is revealed that Giles dabbled in dangerous dark magics in an effort to avoid responsibility and escape his calling as watcher. In Halloween, an episode all about the division of self, we are introduced to Giles' past through the appearance of Ethan Rayne and Giles' alter ego, Ripper. In contrast to the stoic, responsible Giles, Ethan embodies chaos, immaturity, and avoidance of accountability, while Ripper represents Giles' past as a youth. As each of the adolescent Scoobies dons a costume seeking to mask their own insecurities, Giles confronts Ethan as Ripper while wearing his regular uniform of tweed. This prompts Ethan to mock him, accusing him of wearing his own costume and putting on an act.
It's quite a little act you've got going here, old man.
It's no act. It's who I am.
Who you are. The Watcher. Sniveling, tweed-clad guardian of the Slayer and her kin. I think not. I know who you are, Rupert, and I know what you're capable of. But they don't, do they?
Giles' embrace of both his responsible and reckless sides demonstrates his own division of self. Ethan and Ripper appear again in The Dark Age and Band Candy as they continue to contrast adolescence and adulthood through the themes of chaos and responsibility. In each episode, Ethan represents Giles' shadow side, choosing to run from the consequences of his actions, all while condemning Giles and avoiding responsibility.
I'm just helping him collect a tribute for a demon.
He's lying on him.
I don't think he is, and shut up.
You're my Slayer. Go knock his teeth down his throat.
Giles!
His inability to grow from this cycle of chaos is similar to the show's metaphor of vampirism, as they are incapable of change. Mark Field puts it well, saying, "Inability to change is what freezes someone into childhood. It's the condition of a vampire, not of a person." In contrast, Giles is capable of change, as we've watched him grow from rigid, stodgy watcher to warm and flexible father figure, eager to give Buffy the freedom to make her own decisions. Yet in Season 4, Giles is left feeling aimless and without direction due to the loss of his role as librarian and watcher and the shift in his relationship with Buffy. He no longer has a clear sense of purpose or identity, as the things that he previously used to define himself have been taken away. Feeling useless and humiliated in A New Man after his encounter with Maggie Walsh and the revelation that Buffy has kept another secret from him, Giles is at his lowest point when Ethan appears. According to Jung, a part of the reforming and rediscovery of one's self requires the integration of the shadow self, and as Ethan emerges from the shadows, both literally and metaphorically, his presence seems to trigger the emergence of Ripper in Giles, revealing the ease and familiarity with which it comes to him. Giles' lack of purpose and direction makes him easily susceptible to Ethan's charms, as he is tempted to return to the dark magic of his past, which offers him a sense of familiarity, comfort, and the illusion of control.
Enjoy the night. There is still a couple of sorcerers. The night is still our time. Time of magic.
It's magic.
Ethan attempts to exploit this vulnerability, hoping to manipulate Giles into rejecting his responsibilities and ultimately proving that he was right about Giles all along. He is just a fake, pretending to be good. The metaphorical becomes physical when Ethan magically turns Giles into a Fieral demon, the literal embodiment of mindless rage and lack of initiative. Interestingly, the Fieral demon bears a resemblance to the Minotaur that Giles references in Maggie's office. In the Greek myth, the hero Theseus must navigate his way through a maze to defeat the Minotaur and find his way to freedom. As Giles represents Buffy's mind, his transformation into a Fjarl demon shows the temptation to succumb to mindless chaos, giving up all semblance of identity. Yet Giles rejects this and is instead saved by Buffy, who sees past the costume of monster to the man inside. The destruction of his car and the wearing of Ethan's clothes implies that he has finally integrated with that part of himself and is ready to start anew. While this episode is mainly about Giles and his identity crisis, the writers used this situation to compare him to another character, Riley. But I think we'll save that video for another day.